1.4 building functions from functions. All right, find formulas for each of the functions, f plus g, f minus g, and f times g. It also says to give the domain of each, but we're not going to do that. So basically, they give you an f of x function and a g of x function. So f of x is 2x minus 1. And g of x is x squared. And then we are going to basically be doing f of x plus g of x. And then f of x minus g of x. And then f of x times g of x. So, anyways, typically, if I were to give you this on a quiz or something, I would only give you one of these for sure because these are really long and, like, honestly, you should be able to add and subtract, like, terms by, this point. But, so basically, we would have, for the first one, 2x minus 1 and then plus x squared. That's where the sum. And then you just need to make sure that, hold on, did I write this problem right? Wait a second. This is hold that thought back up. This is actually number 1. This is supposed to be number 2. I read the wrong problem again. So sorry. I was like, this one seems really easy. Why did I pick this one? Okay, there we go.
Oh, man. I think we should have stuck with number 1.
Maybe you wanted to give us the easy stuff so that you could scare us with the homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
I'd rather get it out of the way now.
All right, so this is x minus 1 squared plus 3 minus x. So x minus 1 squared would factor into what?
X minus 1 x plus, oh my goodness. X squared minus 1. X squared plus 1.
You need a middle term. It's perfect square trinomial.
Oh, x squared minus...
Minus x plus
2x
that.
plus 1 plus
It's nice
3
There's at least one smart person in here.
minus x. We needed Riley. She would have had us.
Sure.
As long as she didn't scream greatest integer function. Love you, Riley. All right, so then to simplify that, we've got x squared minus 3x plus 4. So then for the minus one, we basically do the same thing, but so this is why I wanted to do this one instead of the one that I had up there originally. Minus, since it's 3 minus x, we need to make sure we put that in parentheses so that we get the minus on both of those things. Okay? Because otherwise something will be wrong. So we already did this. So x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 3 plus x. So then x squared minus x minus 2 would be this one. And then lastly, the multiplying one, x minus 1 squared times 3 minus x. So I would still always do this perfect square trinomial part first and then multiply the rest of it. So this is going to be x squared minus 2x plus 1 times 3 minus x. So then we have 3x squared minus 6x plus 3 minus x cubed plus 2x squared minus x, and then we just need to get it written in the right order. So negative x cubed plus 5x squared minus 7x plus 3. All right. If we had, so I'm not going to actually do it, but number 4, so same instructions, f of x is equal to the square root of x plus 5, and g of x is equal to the absolute value of x plus 3. So, when you add them together, it's literally just going to be like the square root of x plus 5 plus the absolute value of x plus 3. Like, there's nothing else for us to do. And minus would be the same thing. You're just replacing it with a minus sign. And then multiplying, you're just going to literally put them side by side. That's all you would be able to do because that's all we know. So if you have something like that, don't be alarmed that there's like literally no work to show that it's like other than just writing the answer. Anyways. All right, so we took care of adding, subtracting, and multiplying. Now we're going to look at dividing. So we are given, so now they want f divided by g and g divided by f. So sometimes there might be work that we can do and other times there won't be. So with 6, we've got f of x is equal to the square root of x minus 2 and g of x is equal to the square root of x plus 4. So I have f over g first. So this is going to be the square root of x minus 2 over the square root of x plus 4. So, hold on one second. Let me see. What is the problem with the way this is written currently, though? Square root on the bottom. I'm just making sure that they actually change it before I make you do all that work. But what would we need to do to fix it then?
Multiply by the square root
Of what?
x plus 4.
Okay, so they actually don't change it. Okay, so I'm not going to make you change it. But yes, we would be multiplying by the square root of x plus 4 over x plus 4. Or over the square root of that. To fix it. But what they do is when you have two separate radicals like this, you can write it all under 1 as x minus 2 over x plus 4. So they do that. Now with these ones, I do want to talk about the domain of this for just a quick second. So because they do ask for domain, and so I want to make sure that we're familiar with that. So basically, I have to make sure that that whole thing has to basically be greater than or equal to 0, right? But I also cannot have a 0 in the denominator because that's its own set of issues. This and that, whatever's happening in the hallway. That was a little scary. So basically, we would have each thing individually. So x plus 4 must be greater than 0. Okay. And we also have that x minus 2 must be greater than or equal to 0. Because I can't have 0 in the denominator, and I can't have a negative. So x is greater than negative 4, or x is greater than or equal to positive 2. Now, what is our rule when we have two things and we're restricted?
Go with the one that's more specific.
Yeah. The one that's more specific or like more strict. So which one would that be in this case?
X is greater than or equal to 2.
Yep. So this is the one that we would be going with for our domain, okay? Because 2 is bigger than negative 4. So, for example, 0 is going to cause a problem. So our domain is going to be from 2 to infinity, and we actually are including 2 there because it's greater than or equal to.
I decided to graph it funsies, and the first one, like square root of x minus 2 over square root of x plus 4, it's a different graph from like the second one where it's like you have square root of x minus 2 over x plus 4, that thing. Like the second one has like a whole thing on the left side of the graph.
These 2 are different?
Yeah.
They shouldn't be.
I'm not following. I got lost.
Could you get your undead calculator out, Virginia?
I don't know where. I'm looking for it.
So we can like check this, see if I did something wrong. I don't know if I did.
I don't even know what to do. What are we doing? Oh, it's flashing at me.
Oh, is it dead yet?
Charging the battery is recommended.
Well, yeah, I would assume it is recommended.
There's like no battery. Look at the battery.
Oh,
It's
yeah, it
been
stays
like
there
this
for a
for
while,
like a
Virginia.
week.
Virginia, it stays like that for a while and then it finally dies. You're not used to those calculators, are you, Virginia?
No, I'm used to, my old school one.
Okay, we'll get to it,
Back
Virginia.
in my day, we didn't have charging calculators. We used batteries.
You're making it sound like you're so old. You're like literally my age. Although just like
I'm like 2 weeks older than you.
more like 3. And a day. Let's see what happens when I do this.
It's interesting.
So does yours look different as well?
Yeah, I don't know why. Because they should be the same, to the best of my knowledge, because they're equivalent.
I don't know, maybe the book did something wrong.
Well, that's how they do all of them, though. Because, like, even this one is like that. Like, the G over F is the same way.
Is this what you guys are talking about?
Yeah, did you put both in at the same time, Virginia?
Did you do this one or this one?
I did the one with the square root around both.
Your graph still looks different than mine, I think.
Oh.
This is my graph, both.
Which one did you do?
This is this one. Oh. And this is this one.
Oh, I did the G of F one. The G divided by F one with all of it. That's why mine flipped. I got confused.
I don't know. Couldn't tell
Yeah.
you why it's like that.
Like the second one for both of them has this thing on the left side.
I don't know.
Maybe we should solve it the way that you would solve it.
Yeah, I would never have graphed that to begin with, but
Well, like, I just wanted to see how it would end up. Yeah, but like, what I meant to say was we like multiply it by square root of x plus 4 over the square root of x plus 4 for like the first one. Maybe that would be something a little happier.
I'm just doing it how they say to do it because that's the answer I'm going to be looking for on the quiz and test, the way they do it.
I don't trust them.
So then this one, I'm not going to show the work for it, but we would have x is greater than 2 or x is greater than or equal to -4. So this one is still going to end up being from 2 to infinity, but we're not including now because the stricter one is this. and it's not including. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop there for today because you have a long weekend and I really don't want you to have homework. So we'll finish the section on Tuesday. If you are like dying to have problems to do, the problems from what we've done so far will be 1, 3, and 5. And the next stuff that we're doing is, I mean, it's still in the same section, obviously, but it's composite functions. So it's making functions from functions and then also decomposing functions. So anyways, we'll do that on Tuesday. And then whatever we're done with on Tuesday will be what's on the quiz on Thursday. And then we'll go from there.